Have you ever left a conversation feeling drained, as if something had been taken from you? No physical harm was done, yet something felt off, like your emotions have been twisted against you. If that sounds familiar, you may have encountered a narcissist. Narcissists thrive on control. They manipulate, deceive, and distort reality to keep their grip on you. They are experts at making you feel guilty for setting boundaries and causing you to doubt your own perspective. But what if I told you that there is a single, simple question that can expose them instantly? A question that slices through their illusions and forces them to reveal their true nature? Today, we are not just discussing narcissism. We are dissecting their mindset, their insecurities, and the fragile egos that drive them. More importantly, you will learn how to reclaim your power and safeguard your peace without compromising your compassion. By the end of this video, you will understand the psychology behind their behavior, recognize their tactics, and learn to apply this question effectively. You will also see how Stoic philosophy provides the ultimate mindset for resisting manipulation and maintaining control over your emotions. This is not about fighting with narcissists or trying to change them. That is beyond our control. It is about understanding them, standing firm, and mastering our own responses. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Stay with me, because this knowledge will not only help you handle narcissists, it will transform the way you approach difficult conversations in every area of life. Understanding narcissists. To deal with narcissists effectively, we first need to understand them. Their behavior is not random. It follows a predictable cycle of control, manipulation, and emotional exploitation. Their core belief is that they are superior to others. They crave admiration, reject accountability, and lack genuine empathy. For them, relationships are not about mutual respect. They are about power and control. The Stoics had a clear perspective on individuals like this. Marcus Aurelius warned that every day we will encounter people who are arrogant, deceitful, and self-absorbed. He advised, when you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. You cannot prevent people from being manipulative. You cannot force them to change. But what you can control is how you respond to them. Their behavior is a reflection of them. Your reaction is a reflection of you. Stoicism teaches us that our power lies in our response, not in controlling others. Narcissists feed on emotional reactions. They want you to get angry, feel guilty, and explain yourself endlessly. That is how they manipulate you. Epictetus once said, if someone succeeds in provoking you, realize that your mind is complicit in the provocation. That is the key to handling narcissists. Do not allow them to drag you into their emotional chaos. The moment you react emotionally, you hand them control. The moment you stay calm, they lose their power over you. However, staying calm does not mean tolerating abuse. It means being strategic. It means recognizing their patterns, standing firm in your boundaries, and using logic instead of emotion. And this is where the right question becomes a powerful tool. The question that exposes a narcissist. There is one question that, when used correctly, can shift the entire dynamic. It can reveal the truth and expose their manipulation. Before we dive into that question, let's first look at the warning signs. If you can recognize a narcissist early, you can avoid being pulled into their games. Not everyone who is selfish or arrogant is a narcissist, but there are clear behavioral patterns that can serve as red flags. One of the biggest indicators is entitlement. Narcissists believe they deserve special treatment. They expect others to prioritize their needs, even at great personal cost. If you say no to them, they react with anger or guilt tripping. Another key trait is a lack of empathy. They do not care about how their actions affect others. They may pretend to care when it benefits them, but their concern is always superficial. When confronted with someone else's pain, they dismiss it, minimize it, or shift the blame. They also have an excessive need for admiration. They constantly seek validation, and when they do not receive it, they become irritated, dismissive, or even aggressive. Compliments are never enough. They need to be seen as superior. A more subtle but equally dangerous trait is manipulation. Narcissists twist conversations to fit their own narrative. They deny things they previously said, distort reality, and make you doubt your own memory. This is called gaslighting, and it leaves victims feeling confused and powerless. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." If you are surrounded by deception and manipulation, your perception of reality can become distorted. That is why recognizing these behaviors is the first step to protecting yourself. Pay attention to how they react when you express a need or set a boundary. A healthy person will listen, consider your perspective, and adjust their behavior if necessary. A narcissist, on the other hand, will push back, argue, or try to make you feel guilty. Narcissists do not change because they do not believe they're the problem. The best way to expose them is to observe how they react under pressure. The one question that exposes them. There's one question that forces a narcissist into a moment of truth. When used strategically, it makes their mask slip in real time. The question is, can you explain why your needs always seem to matter more than mine? Or, in another form, how do you feel about dismissing my boundaries to satisfy your own desires? This question is so powerful because it shifts the focus away from their excuses and onto their motivations. It forces them to justify why they believe they deserve special treatment. A healthy person, when asked this, will reflect on their actions. They might reconsider their behavior, acknowledge your feelings, or try to find a compromise. A narcissist, however, will react in predictable ways. Their response will tell you everything you need to know. There are 3 common reactions to this question. Anger. They may lash out, insult you, or accuse you of being selfish. Their goal is to intimidate you into backing down. Denial. They will act as if the issue does not exist, saying things like, "I never did that," or "you're imagining things." This is gaslighting in action. Victimhood. Instead of answering, they will turn the conversation around to make you feel guilty. They might say, "I can't believe you'd accuse me of that," or "I do everything for you, and this is how you treat me." What they will not do is give you a calm, reasonable answer. That is because their behavior is not based on logic. It is based on control. This question disrupts their game. It forces them into a position where they either admit their selfishness or attempt to manipulate you further. Either way, their response gives you clarity. Stoicism teaches us that we do not need to argue with people who refuse to listen. Marcus Aurelius said, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." When you ask this question, do not engage with their emotional reaction. Observe. Stay calm. Let their response reveal the truth. What comes next? You hold your boundary. You do not argue, explain, or justify. You do not need their approval to stand your ground. Once you learn how to use this question strategically, you shift the power dynamic. The narcissist no longer controls the conversation. You do. But knowing the right question is only half the battle. You must also know how to protect yourself with strong boundaries. Now that you understand how to recognize and expose a narcissist, the next step is to apply this knowledge in your daily life. The goal is not just to identify their behavior, but to develop an unshakable mindset that protects your emotional well-being. Stoicism provides the perfect foundation for this. The Stoic mindset, mastering your response. A narcissist's greatest weapon is their ability to provoke a reaction. They thrive on emotional responses, anger, guilt, frustration, because these emotions give them control over you. But what happens when you stop reacting? What happens when you refuse to play their game? Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." When you remain calm and detached, you strip the narcissist of their power. You stop feeding their need for control. Instead of getting defensive or explaining yourself, you observe. Instead of arguing, you set firm boundaries. This is the essence of emotional mastery. Practical strategies for dealing with narcissists. Here's how you can apply Stoic principles in real-life situations. Observe, don't absorb. When a narcissist tries to provoke you, don't internalize their words. See their behavior as a reflection of them, not you. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. Their insults, gaslighting, or guilt-tripping only have power if you give them an emotional response. Use the right question strategically. Instead of explaining or defending yourself, ask, "Can you explain why your needs always come before mine? How do you feel about dismissing my boundaries to satisfy your own desires?" These questions force them into a corner. A narcissist cannot answer honestly without revealing their true nature. Stay calm, stay in control. The more emotional you become, the more control they gain. When they try to provoke you, pause. Take a deep breath. Respond with logic, not emotion. Seneca said, "He who angers you conquers you." Limit your exposure. If someone consistently manipulates, disrespects, or drains you, consider distancing yourself. You do not owe anyone unlimited access to your time and energy. Walk away without guilt. Protect your peace. Strengthen your boundaries. A narcissist will always test your limits. If you give in once, they will push further. Be clear and firm. Say, "I'm not available for this conversation. I won't tolerate being spoken to that way." Do not justify or over-explain. Just uphold your boundaries with quiet confidence. Breaking free, the ultimate power move. The final and most powerful way to deal with a narcissist is to stop seeking their approval. Many people get trapped in a cycle of trying to make a narcissist understand them, care for them, or change. But the truth is, they won't change because they don't believe they're the problem. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. You do not need a narcissist to validate you. You do not need to prove your worth to them. You only need to recognize their behavior, set firm boundaries, and protect your peace." Final reflection. Narcissists thrive on control, but you are in control of your own mind. The moment you stop explaining, stop reacting, and start setting boundaries, you take away their power. Your energy is valuable. Your peace is worth protecting. You deserve relationships built on mutual respect, not manipulation. If this video helped you gain insight into dealing with narcissists, make sure to check out more content on Stoic Mindset. We dive deep into Stoic philosophy, emotional mastery, and the principles that will make you unshakable. Subscribe now and take the next step in mastering your emotions and protecting your peace. Stay strong, stay stoic.